Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. Happy Sunday, and today is day 71 of the 100-day project. And it is Sunday, so I am going to work in my ABC board book. It is a little golden book. I've done 4 projects in here so far. So I am ready to do another one. This book will be slow going. It's a just Sunday project, and I love working in this. I would like to do more than just once a week, but once a week is just enough to keep it interesting and fun. Today's the letter E, and the letter E is brought to you by eyeglasses, ear, envelope. I am adding entomology. I have an envelope. I have embellishments right there. And I am going to create some embellishments and embossing. And I think that is about it for the letter E. So let's get started. Let's make some embellishments first, because they're going to take a little bit of time, and then we can decorate the book up. So I'm going to put these aside, and let's get started on making some embellishments. So if you can see, I have made some resin. It is not UV resin, so this is going to have to dry overnight, so I'm going to have to be patient. And I have some jump rings. These are really nice jump rings, actually. They are faceted. They're really, really cool. And I haven't used them yet, so I want to see if I can use these to make embellishments. And I have some of my old newspaper. Let's not throw that around. A piece of my Sears catalog. I have another piece of newspaper here, and it has some letters on it, so that would be cool. I have a piece of the tickets from the yellow palette kit by Cara Brandon. I have some of the teal kit from Cara Brandon. I have a page from one of my vintage books, my vintage garden books. I have some music paper, and I have some paper from the Junk Journal Studio. I think that is plenty to start with. All I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the rings on there, and let's see if this is going to make a really big mess. I'm just dripping it from the paintbrush. Oh. Well, yes, like that, it's going to be a big mess. Just letting the resin do its own thing. And it's just going to bond to the paper and the rings. Let me move it over. I do want to move them over so that I have some space to work. There. Put this aside for a second. I'm just going to make a pile here. That's so much better. Look at that. Let's put some of the rings on some interesting pieces. Definitely want those clock faces. And you see, like, I'm just randomly placing it. I'm not overly concerned. Like, I just want the letters to show, like these big capital letters, because I think those are cool from the newspaper. But other than that, I'm just throwing this on here. All right, let's put this aside. And I think I can just keep going now. Whoops. Don't do that. I'm trying to work neat, and then of course I make a big mess. So we'll do some with glossy accents as well, mostly to show you the difference. I don't believe there is much of a difference between resin and glossy accents. Glossy accents is a little easier to work with than resin, but I like both. And I don't use resin very often, and this resin is from the Dollar Tree, so it's not costing an arm and a leg, and I'm also not expecting miracles. But for what I am using it for, it is absolutely perfect. I don't need to make jewelry out of it or create something fantastic. I just want to make some embellishments for a junk journal. That's it. So I don't feel like I need to spend a lot of money on stuff that, you know, I'm not really using what it's meant to be used for. And this will have to sit, oh, I'm making such a big mess. That's not my intention, but it's just dripping everywhere. So I've done this a couple of times now, and I think I've used maybe a quarter of my bottles, and they're just little bottles. So it makes like the $3.50 that I spend at Dollarama or Dollar Tree, sorry, to buy this type of resin is perfect. It will make a lot of these things. And it looks so cool. The thing with the resin is, though, that it does discolor everything a little bit, but that's okay. I can work with that. I don't overly mind. All right, these all have something in them, so I will have to clean that up a little bit or use the rest of it off camera. And then I'm going to take a couple where I'm just going to use glossy accents. So I do it pretty much exactly the same way. That's one. Do I have anything else that I want to use? Let's take another piece of music paper. I want a couple of these treble keys. So I have to cut it a little bigger. I cut that too small. And let's grab that key as well. I don't remember. I think it's a I don't remember what that key is called. I'm sure someone will tell me what it's called. What else do I have that I can use? Let's go with this. So I don't have a ton for the glossy accents, but that's okay. I also don't have a lot of glossy accents left. I have a piece of label here with numbers on it. I'm going to grab this again. And I want that key. And I want that key. And I want something on here. Probably that. I want some of these numbers. And I want the clock face. Got my glossy accents, and I really don't have very much glossy accents left, so that is why I am trying to figure out a different way to use it. Glossy accents are not as easily available in Brandon, Manitoba as I would like it to be. We only have a Michaels, and Michaels is not carrying as many of the good products that I would like to see. So the difference is, to start with, glossy accents is cloudy when you put it on, where resin is clear. Glossy accents stays just like resin does. Yeah, like it's kind of exactly the same thing, just that it's cloudy when it starts. I'm going to put this aside and we'll continue on. All right, so those are drying, and let's move on to the next step. So that is embossing. Now I can just emboss as per normal, and you know, easy peasy. I have my embossing liquid or my embossing dabber. I have all my embossing powder, but I want to do something a little different. So what I want to do is, I've seen this technique where you emboss, or you use your texture paste, and then you put embossing powder onto your texture paste. You let it dry, and then you emboss it. So that is what I want to try. What do I want to use for a color? I have a few different options. I think I want to use my Lindy's stamps, Lindy Stamp Gang. And what these are really cool embossing paper. Yes, these are really cool embossing powders because they're multicolor. So the color that goes on changes color in like whichever way you look at it. So I really like those. Let me just see which ones I want to use. I want to keep it fairly pale. So I think these two are out, even though they are absolutely beautiful. You know what? I've had these forever. I've rarely used them, but they are so cool. So I have some Bonjour butter, some Chateau Rose, Pop Rock Purple. No, Pop Rock Purple doesn't go. Angel Wings Gold. I don't think I want to use gold. I have Cafe au Lait. I want to use that one. And this is a Ghoulie Goblin Green. Why not? So I want to try and use all three of those and see if I can make that work. So this is not going to be the fastest project. So this is not going to be the fastest project in the world to record because there's a lot that needs to dry. So it's a stop and go, start, or yeah. And I'm okay with it. You won't notice it because you just won't notice it. I am going to need some of my embossing, because this is not embossing, this is modeling paste. There, I think that should be enough. I also grabbed crackling paste, and it's translucent, and I think I may want to put that over the bunny and let it dry, because if I have to let everything dry, I may as well let everything dry. So but I'll do that after I've put the embossing powders and everything on, because I don't want to go through it. And I'm going to apply it with a paintbrush, and I want to have just the bunny to stand out a little bit because it is glossy. So if we can make that crackle and gloss, how wonderful would that be? So I'm going to lay this right here, and I want to use quite a bit because I want to use all the different embossing powders. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the envelope yet. I haven't gotten there. I am first creating this because this is where the time comes in, because this is going to take a lot of time. So what I do is I use my palette knife, and I take quite a bit, actually. Like I don't do, like I do, it's a thin layer, but I have quite a bit on my palette knife to work with. And I'm trying to stay away from the picture, as always, because I want the maintain the actual original image as much as I possibly can. Even though, like in this case, I will be modifying it a little bit, but I still want to keep the image the way that it was intended. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, that came out really well. I'm not always the best stencil paste user. I don't know if that's a word. So I'm being cautious. I am taking my time because I know this is going to all take time anyway. This is not a rush project. Okay, I'm not going to put anything here because I know I'm going to make a mess if I do that. I'm just going to put it aside for a second. And wipe up the extra texture paste. And I think I may want to put some texture paste on that envelope as well. Oh, this is messy. Why? Why do I do these things? Can you please explain that to me? Okay. Yeah, I just want to use up the embossing paste. It'd be wonderful if that was dry now. Do I have, where's my towel? Where did I put it? Okay. Dry enough. Okay, we'll just use the same stencil and I'm going to put it right over top of the envelope. And I'm going to try and not cover the edges because I really like the airmail edges, but I can use the rest. There we go. So I will do the exact same thing on here as well, just with maybe a different color. Let's grab a different sheet of paper. This is just nothing overly exciting. I'm just going to put this on here. And let's use a little cafe au lait. See if we can get this to work how I've seen this work. Yeah, look, it's sticking to the texture paste. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, I always have embossing powder everywhere. It's probably why I don't use it. But you know, like, look at this, like $4, almost $5 a bottle. And that I bought it like probably 10 years ago. So I should be using this stuff. Yeah, that is cute. Okay, that can dry. I'll show you what it looks like. But it can go and dry now. This is why I have embossing powder everywhere, because I am just so messy. Okay, before this dries, let's put some embossing powder on here. And I'll put the paper back underneath. I think I want to do a little bit of this really poisonous green color. Just here on the edges. I think it would be cool. Being as cautious as I can be. And then I'll put it probably in the sunshine to let it dry. Why not? It's a beautiful day out. I am getting some laundry done while I'm doing this as well, so that's always good. Okay, I have the Bonjour butter. Bonjour. The part of the embossing that takes the longest is putting it back in the bottle. Okay, some of this. This is the Chateau Rose. Okay, and then the last one will be the Cafe au lait. And let's see where this will still stick. Because it actually, like, as soon as you put the powder on the texture paste, it no longer, the embossing powder no longer sticks to the other colors. So that is the lovely part of this. That's why you get all the different colors to see. Or you get to see all the different colors. What the heck was that for language? All right, so this can dry. And then as soon as it's dry, then I can emboss it. So the other thing I wanted to do while this is drying is use my crackle paste. And I need a cheap paintbrush for that because I don't want to wreck my my good paintbrushes. So I'm also going to take a little bit right away, right there. Okay. So let's see if I can make this work. I need a good thick layer on here. So I'm just, I've never tried this. I've never tried applying crackle paste with a paintbrush, but really I don't see why it wouldn't work. I just need to make sure that I get it as smooth as possible, but it needs to be a good thick layer to get the crackles to come through. And I wonder if I can put embossing powder, clear embossing powder over that, and if that would work for still creating the crackles. I don't know, because then you have to still heat it afterwards, and I don't want to heat crackle paste. Oh, my tummy is rumbling. It is still really early in the morning and I haven't eaten yet. So it's rumbling, grumbling, saying, feed me. I have to get this done first and then I can eat. Or I don't have to get it done. I just want to get it done. I don't see why this wouldn't work. The worst case scenario, I just have a glossy bunny, which is not the end of the world. I never have a lot of luck with crackle paste and I keep trying it. So mostly because I have it. At some point, I'm going to learn how to use this properly. Will I buy more crackle paste? No, because I just I can't get it to work. Unless this actually works for me, I will never buy more crackle paste. I like texture paste, I like modeling paste, I like all that kind of stuff. I like the stencil butters, but at this point I do not like to use crackle paste, even though like you do see me use it. However, if it works with a paintbrush, then I have now figured out how to use my crackle paste, right? I was trying to smooth it out a little bit so it's not all these ridges. There, it has crackle paste on it. Everything just needs to dry now. And I will be back. Oh, wait. Oh, let's get the glasses properly. Everything just has to dry now, and then we will be back to show you and how we're continuing on, and we'll just continue on at that point. So this was completely dry. The bunny is still drying, but it is crackling and it's actually doing really good. So I have used a heat gun on the embossing powder, and this is what it is now looking like. So there's a little bit of a sheen to the embossing powder. It's a very faint color, which I really like it. It is just really pale, but very pretty. I will try it with the envelope as well now, because that is also dry. So I'll turn the sound off, but I'll show you what happens. There we go. So it's very pale, pinkish brown, color. It has a lot of sheen to it. I just absolutely love how this looks. And now I have to figure out what I am going to do with this on here. I can turn it, like, I don't want to cover anything up. So it's the same idea as what I had in one of the first episodes where I was struggling with that. But I can take, maybe just keep the edge, or, oh, you know what I can do? I can go like this, and I can make it a flip up from here. That works. I need my scissors. They're right there. I need a little bit less. This is not going to be a book that is going to be used anyway. This is going to go on a shelf. This is a piece of art. It just needs to be to a point where it all stays together, right? So I'll need a little bit of glue, and I'm going to use my 3-in-1. Whoops. Just put a little thin strip of glue along there. We'll go probably the same spot as where I had the other one as well, right along the top edge. And it will flip. It can flip this way and it can flip that way. So I'm just going to put it out of the way while I am working on the rest of this page. So I found some entomology fussy cuts. These are from a couple of different kits. I will figure out where they are from, and I will list the pages on the bottom. Oh, I should have cleaned that. That's okay. So what I want to do is I'm just going to ink around the edges with Vintage Photo. And that's mostly just to get rid of all the white and like the white edges, so that it doesn't show so much that they were cut out. It just makes them look way prettier. See, that's like one side and then the other side. It looks way prettier once you put a little bit of ink around it. And it doesn't take a lot, just a little. Takes care of the cut edge. And I'm not sure, do I want to emboss them? Maybe I want to dip them into the clear embossing powder, make them nice and shiny, especially for bugs. That would be really cool. I may do that. So I will be back and show you. All right, so I've inked around all of them. And what I'm going to do is I have my embossing dauber. I need to get rid of a little bit of embossing powder that is on here, because I don't want my dauber to be covered in embossing powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pound on here and get some embossing liquid on there. I'll show you with one. I'm going to do them all the same, but I will just show you with the one. So then I will put it on my hand. And with a little spoon, I'm just spooning clear embossing powder on here. Flicking it off, getting it off my hand. I probably shouldn't have done that. And I'm going to put this aside. And I'm going to turn the sound off as soon as I start using the dryer. Just trying to find something that I can hold it down with. There we go. Okay, I will repeat the process for all the other ones, but this is what comes out of it. It gives it a really delicate look, and it's super shiny, and yeah, I just always love how that looks. So I will do that for all of them, and then we will be gluing them to the page. Okay, so they're all embossed and ready to go. So, and these moths are actually from the Antique Entomology kit from Seven Plaza. I just don't remember where I got the other bugs. I got them off of an Etsy shop, and I don't remember what the shop is called. I'll find it. I will list it below. I really like how this looks. And I have one more moth. I think I want the moths at the top because that gives me the most room, and then I can put the little bugs down here. I'm never overly crazy about bugs, but it works in this case. I really like this page. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I just think it is beautiful. And once I have the other embellishments ready as well, it'll be just amazing. I'm not sure if I like the envelope there though, so that's, I think I may try and take the envelope off. I am not totally crazy about it. I like the envelope itself. I don't like where it is. I don't think it fits, so I may just leave it alone. Because I just like how it looks just like this. So we'll take my 3-in-1 glue, because now I'm gluing over top of the embossing powder and the stenciling paste and all of that. So I need to make sure that it is well attached. And it gets a little greasy from the embossing liquid too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just a little like that. There we go. So tell me what you think of this project, because I really like it. But I would like to hear from you. Tell me what you think. Do you like this? Do you want to see more of these kinds of projects? Let me know. I just really like how this is turning out. And then once the embellishments are dry, I just have to put those on here, and we will have a beautiful page all decorated with handmade things, and they are all with the letter E. So I will post pictures at the end, but for now this is done. I don't think you need to see how I am putting the embellishments on here. I think you can figure that out for yourself, especially once you see the pictures. I enjoyed creating this page. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can see what else I will be up to. I have a few more, I have another month of the 30-day project left, and who knows what I'm going to do after that. I am just loving the projects every day. I don't think I want to stick with going doing another 100 days straight of creating things. I think I want to then go to, okay, let's create a journal beginning to end, but we'll see where we are at in a month. The last month I didn't know what I was going to do this month, so we'll see. Have yourselves a wonderful Sunday. Thanks for watching. Bye.